But for me, it was just the wrong place, wrong time for the Houston Rockets because Zach LaVine is playing out of his mind right now. 33, 7 and 4. The last, I think, what I say, in half of, and he's had 30 plus points in half of the starts this season. I mean, he's just playing ridiculous right now. The Bulls are rolling with him, and the Bulls they seem like a team that can score with anybody. I've said it before. They can score with any team that they please. They play pretty good defense, but a lot of the time their defense is their offense because they're pushing the ball, and they're capitalizing on the up tempo game. When teams play right into their hand, it's going to be a scoring match, and they can score with any team. So last night the Rockets started to heat up from the three in the second quarter because the first quarter the Bulls just came straight out, and that's what they do. They're really good at coming out and coming out to a hot start and putting it on teams. 28-16 in the first, and then 36-36 in the second. So the Rockets were heating up. But the problem was, as they were heating up, they weren't getting stops from the Bulls. So the Bulls continued to get their groove on. They continued to score, play fast, and the Rockets were playing right into their hand. Victor Oladipo. I don't know. I said a little joke. Oladipo. I don't know how to say his name, but 32, 9 and 5. I just call him Victor. He had a great game. He hit some big shots down the stretch, but like I said, they just weren't able to get a stop on the Bulls. And you can score as much as you want. You guys are trading buckets, but when you're down, like 8, 9, 10 points, and you're just trading buckets, you're not really doing much. You're scooping water out of a boat with a hole in it, so it's not, you're still sinking. You're still gonna lose, and that was the story of the night last night. But the Bulls, like I said, they can score with any team. They're deep. They play defense, and it's hard right now. I believe they're right outside of the playoffs. It's gonna be between the Bulls, the Knicks, the Cavs, and what was it? Oh yeah, and then the Magic. They're gonna be fighting for those last spots, the 9-10, because I do believe those four teams will be around the same record. So we'll see how it plays out, but the Bulls their team is very good. And they can score with anybody. So let's go to the next game, second to last game of the night. Miami Detroit. Big game for Bam Adebayo. Again, the Miami is ridden with just people not playing. We got Leonard out, Miles Leonard out again, Tyler Hero out, Jimmy Butler's out. They had Dragic, Robinson, and Bam in their starting lineup, so they had 3 of their 5 starters. And their team, I'm telling you, they just don't give up. They continue to fight. Detroit came out hot in the first quarter. Jeremy Grant is a player. He really is. He asked for this. He wanted to prove that he can do it. And he can do it. But the question is, will he ever be on a team where he has help? Because Blake Griffin can't give you 5, and 1 assist. Blake Griffin played the most minutes and gave you 5 points. It's just not going to happen. We know what Blake Griffin was at one point. I understand his history. He doesn't want to get injured again, I guess. But you can't give me 5 points as the face of the team. They need to get rid of Blake Griffin, get him another star, because Jeremy Grant is playing good enough to be the best player, but paired with another guy that's going to give him consistent points. I think they can be better than 3-10. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team, but I think they can be better than they are now. Ellington showed up last night for him at least. 24 points from him, 7 for 11 from 3. They just, they just don't have a good surrounding team on the Pistons. They just don't. They don't do anything extremely well. They don't do anything well to begin with. They don't defend that good. They don't shoot from the 3 that well. I mean, they really just have Jeremy Grant that even got them those 3 wins. And they're gonna need to make changes if they want to do anything this year. Maybe they won't. Maybe they're tanking, but it's early to tank. But they might be because they're awful right now. But Miami down 2 of their big players, 3 of their big players. And they're able to win it. Between 28 for Bam, 22 for Dragic, and 18 for Robinson. 6 and 9 from 3 from Robinson. He's a knockdown shooter. He's shown that. He's established that. The Miami Heat they're fighters. They're gonna be there. I believe once they get their team back to being healthy and everybody is there, they'll have a positive record. They'll be somewhere in the top 8. They're good enough to go back to the playoffs, just based on their grit and just based on their chemistry. It's the same team, minus a couple guys, but it's pretty much their same team that they went to the championship with last year. So never count them out. Their guys are there to fight. They're there to play. They only have one mission, is to make it back and prove to people that they can do it. And it wasn't a fluke, so I wouldn't count them out. 113 to 107 for the Miami Heat over the Detroit Pistons. And then for me, it was either between this game and the Nets game. I think that the drama of it, this might have been a little more of the game of the night, only because it was 2 teams full force. The Nets, of course, they were missing Kyrie, so we only got a glimpse of what we're gonna be able to see. It's still a great game, though. Don't get me wrong, but this game was full force on full force. Old rivals, Braun on Steph, and I never count them out. What I told you guys this. Every game I watch, I tell y'all this. There's no game that the Golden State Warriors play when Steph Curry is on the court that I count them out. I just don't. You can't. He's just too dynamic of a player. So we're watching this game, first quarter, 34 to 22. The Lakers come out super hot. I mean, they're hitting everything. Schroeder had 14 in the first quarter. He was just going bonkers. 14 of the 29 points to start. He was just doing his thing. It looked like a mismatch totally. It just looked like it was about to be over with. Second quarter, the Warriors started to pick it up a little bit, but Steph only had 5 points in the first quarter. He wasn't really hitting shots. They weren't playing good defense. The Lakers were getting anything they wanted. It just looked like the biggest mismatch you could ever see. But my main man finally stepped up and started to play with a little bit of confidence, like he's an NBA player, like he's been here before. His name was Kelly Oubre. He was big last night for the Golden State Warriors. 23 points. He was only 2 of 8 from the 3, but he was 50% from the field, 9 of 18. He was attacking. He was hot, so it was creating a little bit of space for other players. He only shot 32% from 3, but they shot the threes when they mattered, and they made them when they mattered. they just kept crawling back and crawling back. And when you have a guy like Steph, you just don't want to keep the game close because he can take it over. In the third quarter, they won 33-28. That was due to the second string, and I've said this already. They might have the best bench in the league, led by Eric Pascal. You got Wanamaker on there, Damian Lee. You just have guys, Kevon Looney. You have guys that last year, because yes, they were the worst team in the league, but because they got all those starting minutes, they played together. They understand how each other play, and they take that into the second unit, and they feel like, oh, it's the same guys. We're just second unit. So they come out there, and they're playing hard. They score. Sometimes I think the second unit comes out and they're better than the first unit because of the energy they bring, the defense, they score. Eric Pascal's a beast. His motor gets the rest of the guys going. And then the first string comes in and sees that energy, and they build off of it. Only thing for the Warriors that I see in the future is the lack of big men, and I say that because when Wiseman gets in foul trouble early, they have to go to Kevon. And as being a rookie, Wiseman, he knows basketball, but sometimes you could just see that like a smart play for a veteran, turns into an oh shit play for a rookie. And you saw it a couple times in the fouls where he's just like, oh shit, I can't do that, I can't get one back. So he's gonna get in foul trouble until he understands the game a little bit more on this level.